Hey guys, it's Jana from Ballerinas by Night. I wanted to film a recap after my performance last weekend since I kind of ended that vlog without chatting about it afterwards since it was getting long and I just kind of wanted to leave it at that. If you haven't watched that video, it is linked here. I can never remember how it is on the screen, if it's here or here. It's one of those. So yeah, basically what happened was one of the dancers that takes class with me, he wanted to create some performance opportunities for adults. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my cat is like chewing my tripod. And so he decided to create a company essentially of adult dancers to create opportunities for us. So this was the first run of this group. It's called the Adult Ballet Collective. I really didn't know what to expect at all, and then when I found out that there were like 13 or 14 people that came to the first rehearsal, I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. I was gone the first rehearsal. I was visiting Abby, filming those videos from the beginning of the year, so I missed the first rehearsal. So I was very excited to hear that there were that many people interested, which was like further proof that like, of course we want to be doing stuff like this. Usually it takes time to get people to sign up for things, but there were that many people initially, you know, as proof that like, you know, we don't need to be professionals to want to perform. I think that's part of the experience of learning an art form like ballet, any form of dancing. You know, that's part of, you learn it and you work on technique, and performing is just part of that. It's a way to share how you're dancing. I just thought that was really amazing that this was happening. I like could not believe it. So of course I signed up, didn't ask any questions. I was just like, where do I sign? So then we ended up doing 2 pieces with 2 different choreographers, and so we were only rehearsing like 1 night a week, and it was for an hour, and it followed a technique class, a beginner intermediate technique class that was an hour and a half. So I started going to that class beforehand so that I could get like a proper warm-up before rehearsal. But I was going to my Tuesday night advanced class like I've been going to for like years. You know, schedule was being like Tuesday nights dancing for an hour and a half, and it takes me like 40 minutes or so to travel up to the studio from where I live, and I carpool with Kristen, so then we tack on extra time, you know. Anyway, so I mean, just factor in like an hour getting there and an hour back. It's a lot of time. So then adding in Wednesdays, I'm sorry, my cat is like diving into my tutus over here. I just keep getting interrupted. I've started this video like 3 times. Okay, so then, you know, we were rehearsing the 1 day a week, and then when we started doing the second piece, we needed to start rehearsing both. So then it was come on Mondays and rehearse for an hour. There was no class before then, so I had to get there early enough to like get a warm-up, and then go to class Tuesday, and then the full class Wednesday, and the hour rehearsal afterward. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I generally work at my husband's brewery, so it was just like the time commitment became like kind of crazy, and usually that never bothers me. Like ballet is always like #1. I don't care. I will give up anything to be at ballet, but this is the first time I've encountered like where I was like, oh my god, like this is really hard fitting this in, but you know, like I want to do it. It means so much to me, so I'm gonna make it work. But that was definitely like a struggle I didn't anticipate, but my gosh, it was like so fun to get to like make friends and see people on the regular and get to know people, and I don't know, just everybody, you know, everybody wants to be there to dance. We all want to be there to do the same thing, so you just kind of like instantly get along, and it was just so lighthearted and fun, but we all wanted, you know, we wanted to look good, so everybody was trying really hard, and it was just a really like great environment. And I think that it's such a valuable thing to have at any age, to get to experience something like that. So I'm just so beyond grateful for it. So this time around, because it was like, I mean, our levels were ranging very broadly. There were some dancers that had only been dancing a year, and then there's some of us that have been doing it a long time, and there's people in between or had been previously dancing and coming back to it. It was just a big range of stuff. So all the choreography that we did was very like beginner kind of level. So that was kind of like the only thing that I kind of wished I could have had another opportunity to do something more advanced. But I also know it's the first time we're doing this, and the program's going to continue, so I think that there will be opportunities to do other advanced work, and I'm really excited about that. And I think Kristen really wants to do some choreography, and so we've been working on some stuff after class, just kind of playing around with some music that she found. And so I hope that like that will kind of create a place for us to be creative with our dancing and express ourselves, and it's, you know, it's a supportive, like encouraging environment. And my gosh, I'm just so glad. So anyway, as far as the performance day, Oh my gosh, so much to say about that day, but I guess I will give you like just what happened that day. So we were performing with the ballet company, like their trainees in the second company, and I think like the youth ballet company, like the high school company. And so it was this long production and we didn't know this. There was a performance at 2 and then there was a performance at 7. Not all the adults could be there at 2 o'clock, so we only did the 7 p.m. show. And when we got there at 4:30 to do like our warm-up and rehearsals, the 2 p.m. show was still going. I was like, oh my gosh. So it turned out this was like a 3-hour performance thing. And our dances were like maybe 3 minutes each, like not even, I think only a couple minutes. So I was not anticipating it to be like that big of a time commitment from like my family that was coming to watch. But anyway, you know, it's good for them. There's all kinds of good dancing to watch, and you know, there were a lot of people involved in the performance. So when we were downstairs just getting ready and rehearsing and chatting, and we had a lot of downtime because we performed 4th or 5th at the beginning and then the 2nd to last piece. So we just had a lot of time to like chat and get to know each other. And if you've ever performed and you've done stuff like that, you know that those like that time backstage in the dressing rooms is like super great bonding time. It's like just as much fun as getting to perform, I think.
Wait, are we going right or left first? I gotta get right leg left. What? Right leg left. Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, this one's together.
You have that much energy in 3 hours.
So yeah, and I happened to feel just like really good that day. I was kind of worried that I was gonna be like way over rehearsed because it wasn't very difficult. It was easy for me. This is how I am with any choreography. Like it feels really fresh and good on me for a little while, and then I just like tighten up and I can't really like relax into things. And so I was really worried that was gonna happen. But I actually felt like really good that day. I changed some of my solo parts last minute because my foot was bothering me and I didn't want to do this like fouette jump thing because I kept landing on it weird. It was kind of fun to just like change that up last minute, and it was the first time we had rehearsed it with like the auditorium seating that comes out, like the kind of seating that like folds up against the wall and then can bring it out for performances. So we hadn't actually rehearsed it in that spacing yet, so that was good to get a chance to do that. But yeah, I feel like it went really well. Like I was very proud of myself because I tend to let my nerves completely take over, and I get so worried about like not messing up or wanting everything to be so correct that I forget to just like use my plie or like smile. But I was really proud of myself. And also having solo parts, like I've never really had a solo before, like ever. Even when I previously danced, I don't think I ever really had any solo moments where it was like a definitely like eyes on you kind of thing. So I was really nervous about that, but also really freaking excited about it too. So I was proud of myself that I kept my like nerves in check and I used them to like help my dancing instead of hold me back. So that was like a big accomplishment for me, and I feel like that alone was worth the entire experience. The other thing about that day in particular, when I said earlier that like when I found out this opportunity was going to be happening and I just like signed up for it, I didn't even ask any questions. I didn't realize that it was going to be happening the same day as a big as a big music festival that happens in my town. It's like a twofold kind of thing because like obviously it's a popular thing for like friends and everybody to attend, and then my husband's business was also participating in the event, and because of certain circumstances, like it was a bigger deal this year and a lot more work, which was super exciting. But it made some like huge conflict with like trying to get people to come watch me dance, and I found this to be a very interesting thing that I was not anticipating feeling like. And I have not wanted to really talk about this, but I feel like I should though, because I think as adults, people that do this as like a hobby but it like means something to you, I think it's important to talk about how that is important. Basically, some friends that I would expect to show up for me for something like that were just sort of like, oh, well, it's over Music Fest? Yeah. Like those kind of reactions, or like, yeah, I don't think I can make it up. And I was just sort of like, really? Like, okay. And I just think if they don't understand how much that meant to me, then I was like, I'm just gonna reevaluate those friendships, and you know, I just don't need to invest so much in that. If that's going to be the kind of friend they are, then I guess I just need to like realize that. So I had a couple moments where I was feeling really hurt about that. I also was like feeling like my husband and I were like butting heads, like we were competing for our events on the same day because they were both a big deal. And it was like, you know, because his is like a business and it's a storefront and it's like a thing, it was easier for people to like understand why his was a big deal, but some people didn't understand why mine was a big deal. I had some kind of rude things said to me, and I'm not gonna say what it is, but it really upset me. And anyway, so that whole dynamic was like really hard for me, and I realized like it was affecting my mood like extremely. Like I would just get really angry about it because I was just like, why don't people understand? Like, this is a huge deal. And I know that like you guys get it, and so I talk about this stuff and you understand that it's a big deal. So it's just frustrating that I feel like people that don't dance or people that don't perform anything maybe just don't understand how this could be, you know, like a big deal to show up for. So I don't know, it was very interesting, and it's kind of a negative downer thing to talk about, so I haven't wanted to like share that. But I do think that's probably something that we will experience as adults wanting to perform and share what we do with others, you know, because I just feel like I feel like I'm just giving for everybody, giving, and ballet is like my thing for me. And then here's my one chance to be like, oh, I can share it with you, you can show up for me. And it had this like major conflict, and I was just like, God, this really sucks. Like, I'm feeling much better about that now that it's over. And I'm grateful, you know, that my family came, of course. My mom came into town, my sister came into town. My husband made it up because I was like, you have to be there. Like, I know like he has to, his business, like he's in charge of that happening, but I was like, you have to be here. So, but he did. I was very glad about that. And then I hope that like maybe the next time we do it, it won't be on such a date with like a huge conflict, and I can bring all of our friends. So I think overall my take on this is like, I just realized just how good it feels to be thought of as a dancer. Like, this experience made me feel like a real true dancer. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. Like, of course we're all dancers, but like, you know, when like you have to be somewhere and you're learning choreography and it's getting set on you, and it's just like, it's a whole different feeling than just taking class. And I think it's a really fun, thrilling thing, you know. Like, it feels like we matter and that we're valued, and I know all of that. Like, I know that's true. So it's like, it feels good to be recognized, I guess, and to know that this is a valuable thing for the students, for the school. So I encourage you, if you don't have opportunities like this where you dance, try to talk to teachers or your director or somebody at your school and just ask them if there is any way, you know, to participate in performances as an adult, or if you are somewhere that's big enough that they could create a program like this. If it's something that you want to do, I would just start asking, you know what I mean? Because if Sterling, the guy that started this whole thing happening, you know, if he hadn't asked, like, we wouldn't have done that. So I just really, really appreciate him taking the lead on that. And I think it takes us having to kind of push for what we want for people to maybe understand why this would be an asset to the school and to their students. So yeah, feeling so grateful, so happy, so proud of myself. And I hope that if you want to perform, that there are opportunities for you to do that, or that you're able to create something to do. If you have performed or if you are performing this like spring season, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you're doing, how it's making you feel. I am like 3 weeks out from going to Art Emotion at Ballet West, and I just realized last night was the last class I'm gonna get before that starts. So I have 3 weeks to not get out of shape before I go dance for 6 days straight. I was kind of having a panic moment last night when I realized that classes were done. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm a little worried about that. But I wore pointe shoes in center class last night. I did an Instagram story about it, but guys, I did it. I put pointe shoes on for center and I didn't die. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, that could be a whole other video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you haven't seen the performance and you want to watch, I vlogged the week of the performance and then shared what we did, shared the video of us performing at the end. So make sure to click here. It's in the description box below if you want to go watch it. So yeah, thank you guys always for the love and the support. It really, really means a lot. Hope you all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.